And then the other thing I'd like to do is inspect the records index. I need to submit a public records request to you for this office. Are you going to refuse to take the public records request, or are you going to accept it?
I'm going to call security.
Okay, so I just want to make sure.
And they are not the ones that handle the public records request.
So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. So they're saying only certain people can take public records requests, not any employee.
I talked to an employee and they said they did not accept them.
He's not recording.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be recorded. So what do you need?
Is there a records index to inspect, sir?
Have a good
Will
day.
you let me inspect the records index, sir? Hey, a lot of the times the state's wrong, right? So there you go.
Yeah, well, you have a great day.
You too. Yeah, I got that printed out. I just want to make sure you guys don't have that, because state law actually says that's unlawful. Hey everyone, I am free. It's October 24th, 2024. I'm in the city of Olympia, the capital of the Communist Empire of Washington State, here in Thurston County. For a while, probably just going to keep putting this quick note out there, which is that keep getting a lot of comments, people saying, hey Steve, you know a lot of stuff, how come you keep calling it the Communist Empire? It's because Washington State loves abusing personal liberties, and I'm using a sardonicism. That's right, I am using sardonic humor, dark, cynical, mocking humor to address the issue, because I'd rather do that than be angsty and emo and get really angry and yell and scream and all that, because you guys know I'm not a yeller screamer. So, that being said, I am going to the Employment Security Department today here in Olympia at the Capitol grounds, because I am working on a records index story. I'm also paying $5.06 for a public records request, but I found out that the Employment Security Department, which is a state agency, is in massive violation of state law right now. State agencies are not allowed to exempt themselves from something called a records index. The records index is what it sounds like. It's an index of certain documents that you can go and examine so that you can make sense of how the organization runs, its major orders, rules, etc. Who's in charge of things like the public records officer and stuff like that. It's all in one location, so it's less labyrinthine for a lot of people. So I come to find out that in the administrative code for the Employment Security Department, they have exempted themselves in direct violation of state law. State law in RCW 42.56.070 subsection 5 says state agencies shall create a records index. Local agencies, as defined in subsection 4, can exempt themselves if they meet certain criteria. But in Washington administrative codes, and just think of administrative codes in Washington states as the implementation of statute. So statutes are laws. Those statutes say, hey, here's what the law is. The administrative codes are how they're implemented. And in Washington Administrative Code Title 192, Chapter 2, Section 40, titled Records Index, it says the department finds that maintaining an index is unduly burdensome and would interfere with agency operations. Yeah, they're not allowed to do that, and this is at least effective as of November 16, 2020. So the code reviser, which is in charge of the codes of Washington, would have had to have analyzed this in addition to the Employment Security Department and their attorneys. I don't know how far back this goes, but just a little history on legislative history. on the Public Records Act in Washington State. The very first Public Records Act created was in 1972. And I went back and reviewed what was then called Title 42, Chapter 17. And if I remember correctly, it was Section 100. Or no, I think it was Section 260. And in that section, it describes the Public Records Index. I compared and contrasted the two from the archives, and they're the same language. So the potentiality is that they've been in violation of the Public Records Act, the Employment Security Department, the Unemployment Office, effectively, since 1972. And the Public Records Act also allows for penalties up to $100 per day per page. Yikes. Go back to 1972. That's a big number. Fortunately, the judges here are corrupt, and they would never probably even fine the Employment Security Department because they all play on team government broham together. But my job as a journalist is to expose it and bring the story to the public. Well, that's what I'm doing. So we're going to head on in here, pay for the public records request that I'm delivering a money order for, and see about inspecting the Public Records Index. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too shabby. I need to pay for a public records request.
Okay.
I need to pick up those documents, and I would like to inspect the Public Records Index.
Okay. Let me just call my supervisor.
As in an Employment Security Department, or?
Yeah, the site supervisor. I'm Pacific Security, so.
Gotcha, okay. But you're talking an employee of ESD, not Pacific Security.
No, I'm an employee of Pacific Security. I'm calling an employee of
ESD. Okay, got it. Cool. Thanks, man.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you doing?
Good. Just need to deliver this payment.
So I'll take the payment, then I'll just be up a few minutes with the records.
Great. Are you going to get the USB?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
great.
yes.
And then the other thing I'd like to do is inspect the records index.
Records index.
Yeah, from the Public Records Act.
Well, we'll talk. Okay. All right.
Where is that for me to inspect?
Well, I mean, I think you got to look at our whack about that.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good thing. Well,
Yeah.
do you got a minute? Because
No, I got to get the records.
well, how do I inspect this?
We'll be right back.
Okay, so you're going to come back regarding the records index
We'll be right back with the information you requested, and then we'll check in on that.
on the index. Okay.
What was that question again?
Yeah, this is about to get a little awkward. And by a little, I mean a lot.
Here's the records on the USB installment there, and then here's that referring to the whack.
Yeah, I got that printed out. I just want to make sure you guys don't have that because state law actually says that's unlawful.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean,
All right, everyone, let's listen to that again as Mr. Joe Chinko, Assistant Safety and Security Manager for the Employment Security Department, admits that he knows the Employment Security Department is in violation of the law, but he is still pointing to the WAC, the Washington Administrative Code.
okay, well, yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean,
The Employment Security Department has been caught red-handed being out of compliance with the Washington State Public Records Act, and they know it.
I'm just
No, I get
referring you
that.
to.
So I just want to make sure there is nothing for me to inspect, right? Is that the official stance?
Well, I mean, this is what's in our whack.
So there's nothing for me to inspect.
This is what's in our whack.
That wasn't my question. My question is there anything to inspect?
I'm not going to answer that question, but this is what is in our whack of what we stated about the.
Yeah, well, there's nitrogen in the sky. Is there a records index to inspect, sir?
Have a good
Will
day.
you let me inspect the records index, sir?
There's a whole bunch of people.
Have a good day. Thanks. There you go. That's confirmation right there that the Washington State Employment Security Division has violated state statute. That's a big violation, by the way. That is no small violation right there. So I'm going to be heading on over to the code revisor, which is over this way, to see if I can get some more information as to why that isn't there. I did check in Title 50 of the revised codes of Washington for the Employment Security Department. If I remember correctly, there's only 4 chapters in there, and within each one of those there is nothing regarding the Public Records Act. So then you end up going to the administrative codes, and that is where you find the Public Records Act mentioned, and that is in Title 192, Chapter 2, Section 40, where they exempt themselves. The problem, like I said, is they can't exempt themselves from that. Yikes. Wow, you can't go to the code revisor's office. That's brilliant. Well, this is definitely one of the problems you run across. That building right there is what houses the code revisor. And I need to go ask them questions while I'm here, because shocking, more than likely I would email them or call them. They just refuse to take the call and not respond to the email. The whole point here is this just goes to continue to further evidence the government's unwillingness to be present, do its job, respond to the public and the press, which is the public, and do their job. So I'm going to head in here and see if I can find a way to go speak with the code revisor. Hi. How do I get to the code revisor?
I don't know if they have a public office right now, just because I know they're in transition with the new thing. But give me just a second.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
So they are not answering, and but here's the number. I wrote down the number so that you can call and see if you can get hold of them or leave a message.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm trying to inspect the records index, which is supposed to be inspectable in person.
Okay.
So,
Well, very well maybe, but you know, with all the construction stuff, you may just need to give people a little bit more.
aren't they over in the O'Brien building?
No, they were in the Pritchard.
Oh. When I looked them up online, it said they were in the O'Brien building.
Well, you know, sometimes the internet's wrong.
Fair enough. I just, saw it on the state website, but hey, a lot of the times the state's wrong, right? So there you go.
Yeah, well, you have a great day.
You too. Hello.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, I don't know if somebody here can help me, but I'm ultimately...
Is that recording?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be recorded, so what do you need?
Are you from the representative's office?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get assistance getting over to the code revisor, and it looks like they're not in the Pritchard building because that's under construction, and I was told they're in the O'Brien building, but it's inaccessible. I'm trying to inspect their public records index, and I'm also trying to inquire about a record index of the ESD.
Did you check in with security?
Where at?
J-Log.
Oh, at the O'Brien?
When you walk in, that
Oh, you can't lock in. The doors are all locked.
the main front door to J-Log is locked?
To the O'Brien building, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the one just over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all locked up.
All right, let me call security.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So security said that they are looking into what is the next step, and they're going to reach out to the code revisor's office, I guess. So
Oh,
I don't even know where they've relocated to. So
Yeah, I mean, that's great that they're working on their internal security policies. It doesn't really have too much to do with me. I just need to inspect the records index. That's supposed to be available to inspect during open hours.
Again, I don't know the answer to that at all. I don't work with the code revisor's office except to help drop bills.
No, I totally understand that. I would, the irony is sharp here. I would expect that some of the legislators would want to have the public have the ability to go inspect the public records index that they created back in 1972. I mean, that is directly legislated by the legislator. I mean, wouldn't the representatives want the public to go inspect?
I can't answer for the representatives, I'm sorry.
Is there anyone else that can help me here?
It's interim. There are no representatives on the floor anywhere in the building, and that's why J-Lob's closed, because it's interim. There's no committee meetings going on or anything. So
then if a member of the public comes in to utilize a tool that the legislature gave us so that we can examine a document that's meant for us to examine, we just wait till next legislative term?
Oh, I don't know. I can't answer those questions for you.
By the way,
and I'm not willing to answer those questions for you because I don't want to be recorded.
Okay, gotcha. And who are you, by the way? Do you work here?
I do work here.
Gotcha.
I'm behind a locked door.
Gotcha. Who do you work for?
Again, I don't want to be recorded, so I don't know that I have to provide that information.
Well, I mean, I can't make you give the information. I'm trying to have points of contact so I can say, on this day I spoke with someone at the legislative office. I mean, for all I know, you broke in there and you're rifling through everyone's drawers.
Well, I don't want to be recorded, so I'm not going to answer your questions. You can check in with security if you want them
Where
to
is
be able to
security
answer.
at?
They're there.
They're at the front doors that are locked.
Their security office is in there, yeah. You can knock on the door.
What are you guys doing? I'm a member of the press working on a story regarding the Employment Security Department, and you guys are literally actively going out of your way to be unhelpful. Why?
I'm not trying to be unhelpful. I don't want to be recorded. That's my right.
So a member of the press shows up in the Capitol, and now all of a sudden you're angsty about it because we're working on a story. That's what the press does, man.
No, I'm sorry. Say that again?
I said now you're acting angsty because a member of the press is doing their job. We use these tools, man. It's like a carpenter uses a hammer.
I understand that, but they also let you know that they're going to record you. They
Not
don't
investigative journalists, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to end this conversation.
Okay,
now.
so you're not going to identify as a public employee.
I am a public employee, but I'm not giving you any other information. And
So you're not going to identify.
I'm not going to identify myself.
Okay.
No.
I need to submit a public records request to you for this office. Are you going to refuse to take the public records request, or are you going to accept it?
I'm going to call security.
Yeah, you might want to. Look at that. Submit a public records request, and now she's calling security. Literally what she said. So we'll wait for security here. Incredible.
You doing all right?
I'm trying to get some help, and
I
it's...
think I'm the one looking to help you. So we had an individual over here saying that you were asking for some information on the CO's office.
On the code revisor, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking to inspect the records index. I can't do that over the phone by email.
Well, unfortunately, they aren't open to the public, and I'm the one that went to talk to them to go figure out what is going on with them, because they don't work in our agency, but they're temporarily in our building. So I don't know what their usual...
That's a state agency, right?
It is, yes. So they are closed to the public right now.
Okay,
They
if
said...
you could let me finish, it'll make a lot more sense.
Okay, well, I was going to finish as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they're closed to the public right now. They are open during session. They said you are welcome to come during that time. That information is as good as it's going to get from my point of my end, because, like I said, I don't work for them and I don't know their policies and procedures. So at least that number will be able to tell you.
And why are you here?
Because they have no one else to.
So one of those people over there can't come over here?
No.
Why?
They don't want to.
Yes, exactly. That's the problem. So, you're security, okay?
I am, yeah.
So, I understand you've probably not read this, but state agencies have to have a records index. Local agencies can exempt themselves if they meet the criteria.
Okay.
They're a state agency.
Yeah.
There's a records index I need to inspect. It's not only when they're in session, so I need to inspect it now.
Okay. The contact information is on that form.
I'm here.
I understand that, sir.
Okay, so
that is the only way that you can
okay,
get
so
in
let
contact.
me make sure I understand this correctly.
Go ahead.
And you're are you a security officer for the state?
For the House of Representatives, yes.
Gotcha. So you're a public employee.
Yes.
Okay. So you're telling me as a state employee, just want to make sure I understand this correctly because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
That's fair.
That's really important.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You're telling me I cannot inspect their records index right now.
So I want to go ahead and say lean on yes, but I have no idea what that is, whether it's in a virtual form or not. And you're saying it's not, from what I understand, but I really don't know, sir.
What's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew. You got a business card?
What?
You got a business card?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
What's your last
If only
name?
I was fancy enough for that. Brickey. Brickey.
Rick. Okay, gotcha. All right, so here's the thing. I don't want you to get jammed up over this, and
Yeah.
frankly, I think it's incredibly rude that they sent you over here to do this because I kind of feel like they're throwing you under the bus for the fact that you're not aware of this. And when I say you're ignorant, I don't mean stupid. I just mean you're literally not aware of it. That's fine. Lots of things everybody's not aware of. I'm not aware of brain surgery. So the thing is I think they don't have the records index, which is a violation of statute, which is ironic because that's the code revisor. But it's supposed to be inspectable. Since they've sent you over here as an agent, I'm assuming, of the code revisor's office to deliver a message on their behalf, I just want to make sure I understand correctly before I leave the Capitol today.
Valid.
You are telling me, Matthew, on behalf of the code revisor, that I cannot inspect the public records index in person at the code. Then what are you telling me?
I think there is a breakdown in communication here from the information that I got from our staff that requested me to look up this information to give to you. So I'll go ahead and go talk to them about specifically about the index.
Perfect.
And I'll come back with a concrete answer.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate
Sounds
it,
good?
man. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll just walk with you over here.
Okay. So let me go back to the beginning and recap on the questions I'm asking him.
Sure.
Just to make sure.
No, I appreciate it.
So, index, is there one available for you to physically see right now?
Exactly.
Today. That's it in general on that one.
Correct.
And then you also want to go ahead and see
I think just answer a couple questions about the Employment Security Department's lack of an index and their unlawful exemption of it.
I would be surprised if they have something to say about ESD specifically on someone else, but I can't speak for them. So I will go ahead and I'll bring this to them. I'll talk to them about the index.
The third thing is I want to make an in-person verbal public records request to the code revisor's office, and that's per 4414-03006.
Okay. So. Yeah. So.
All I got to hear is the magic words. I'm denying your public records request in person verbally. Yep. I'm out of here.
Okay.
That's all I need.
All right. Well, I'll be back.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Maybe you should run for office and change some of this crap, Matthew. You seem at least more interested than they do.
I think I'll hold off on that. Okie dokie. So there is no physical index available for you to review at this time. There is one available virtually.
Okay.
There is no one available right now to take your in-person public records request.
Okay.
So
they're going to refuse it?
They're
refusing it in person?
They are refusing it in person.
Did you talk to any person inside the code?
I did.
Okay, so I just want to make sure.
And they are not the ones that handle the public records request.
So I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. So they're saying only certain people can take public records requests, not any employee.
I talked to an employee and they said they did not accept him, or they're not accepting him right now. So I would, draw to your own conclusions.
Which employee was that? That's really important. I need to get that information because I'm about ready to go file a 530 review.
So I don't know them. Like I said, they are not our normal.
Can you go ask their names because they are public employees and I'm getting ready to file a.
That's fair. I got to go talk to them anyways again because their thing is they want your number. That way their code revisor can reach out to you directly.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I want to be clear here that I understand this as well. The government wants me to identify to them. Is that what I'm hearing? Isn't that in the 4th Amendment? Golly gee, I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm just trying
In
to
no universe,
communicate right now.
No, I understand
between
that, but
okay.
you know what? You need to let them know. They need to stop this I'm living in North Korea Red Army stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to identify to the government. They're
Okay.
not going to call me because then I can't record it, and they can just say later on, "Oh, I never said that." Blah
Then
blah blah.
that's your
This
answer.
isn't a thing with you, by the way.
No, I know,
have
but
no
I'm
issue with
also
you.
getting to the point where I'm feeling like a bit of a middleman,
I
and I'm
know.
outside of my comfort zone. at this
Absolutely,
point.
you
So-
shouldn't even be involved in this. That's why I'm asking the code reviser to come out
So
here.
I will
Or
tell them
have
that you're not going to provide your contact information.
Correct. I'm not going to identify to the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
If I could
then.
just get their name, I am out of here. Because literally at that point, I can say I know who actually broke the law. I can say Susie, Jack, Steve, whatever.
Okay.
Literally told vis-a-vis security that they are refusing my public records request in person verbally. I'll walk right over to ATG and we'll get this handled.
Okay. I will be back then.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Got your name.
That is awesome. Hey, thank you very much, man.
There you go.
Kathy Buckley. All right. Hey, Matthew, I really appreciate your time. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate being a good public servant, man. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Tell them to be more like you and stop hiding or whatever it is that they're doing in there. So, thanks. All right. Well, that was my attempt after I went to the Employment Security Department to go to the code revisor's office and get information.
As it turns out, and I was unaware of at the moment, the individual that decided to refuse to accept a public records request in person, though I have the right to do so per RCW 42.56.080 subsection 2 and Washington Administrative Code Title 44 Chapter 14 Section 03006, was none other than the code revisor herself, Kathleen Buckley. This refusal to accept a public records request was clearly made through the security officer and yet refused.
We're going to head over to the Attorney General's office now. We're going to head over there and file a 530 review against the code revisor's office for failing to accept a public records request, Kathy Buckley specifically. And then we're going to file a 530 review against the Employment Security Department. All right, everyone, this is the Attorney General's Office of Washington State. You may recall I was here finishing up a story recently for the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission. So I obviously just left the O'Brien Legislative Building. I'm going to go in here and file a 530 review complaint. Hello, I need to submit 2 530 review complaints.
Okay.
Request.
1 second. Let me get the file away. Okay. We'll hold in just a moment. I'm going to get my supervisor for you.
Sure.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. I need to file 2, possibly 3 530 reviews.
Okay. So we don't have a form for that, I don't believe?
Yeah, I'll just explain it to you. That's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, let me...
Sure.
And before you start doing that, could I just let somebody know that I'm here because I've got an appointment?
Sure.
Thanks.
All right. The first one, and I can give this to you for documentation. It's pretty straightforward. Sorry, it's all folded up here, so hopefully you can scan it or print it or whatever. So the first 530 review is regarding the Employment Security Department.
Okay. Okay.
They do not have a records index.
Okay. Don't have records index?
Correct.
Okay.
Obviously, it states that in their administrative code
Sure, yeah.
quite boldly. That being said, in RCW 42, or I'll wait till you're done there. In RCW 42.56.070,
Okay.
subsection 5,
I wouldn't be able to answer the phone, so if you want to forward those real quick, and then, yeah, you can set up
Subsection 5.
Okay.
State agencies are not allowed to exempt themselves. They must have a public records index. It's just not an option.
Okay.
Subsection 4 allows local agencies to do it if they meet the criteria. So I don't know how this came to be, but they literally got the code reviser to put an administrative code through that says they're exempted. They're exempting themselves from the records index,
Okay.
even though that's unlawful.
Can't exempt. And then you said, who put in the administrative code?
Well, obviously, the Employment Security Department did, but the code reviser is the one that's responsible for publishing the revised codes of Washington, hence the revised code. They are the code reviser.
Code reviser, code that exempts from having.
Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying the code reviser exempted them in terms of granting authority.
Okay.
Excuse me. What I'm saying is the process before an administrative code gets published into the administrative code itself, that code has to get reviewed by the code reviser, their lawyers for the state, the Employment Security Department, and I think there's an assistant attorney general that's a part of that, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But obviously, there's no way for that to have gotten into the administrative codes without the code reviser revising the code, because they're the authority to do it. So I went back and I reviewed RCW 42.17.260, which is the original records index from 1972. It appears that the Employment Security Department's been out of compliance with the Public Records Act since 1972.
Okay. PSD out of compliance with PRA.
I'm just looking to get a review that affirms this, because if it is, I'm wanting, I don't know if the Attorney General does this, but I'm looking to seek maximum fines of the $100 per page per day from today back to 1972.
Okay.
Again, I don't know if they, if the ATG does that or if I'll have to file that, but that's my goal.
Sure, okay.
I then, of course, went over to the, so that's the ESD.
Okay, perfect.
I then, discovering this and trying to confront them about it, I asked them on recording if they have it. He refused to answer, because this is the story I'm working on.
Right.
Knowing how the process works, I went over to the code reviser over at the O'Brien building.
Okay, yeah.
And while attempting to get information, which they don't have to give me in terms of an interview, I then attempted to submit a Public Records Act request to the state agency, the code reviser. Kathy Buckley refused to take a public records request.
Okay.
Just straight up said, I'm not doing it.
Code reviser, and you said the O'Brien building?
Yeah, and her name is Kathy Buckley, Buckly, or maybe it's Buch. I don't know. What do you think?
I'll go ahead and
Just do both?
just in case.
Okay. I think it's an H, but whatever. So I want to explain clearly how this happened, though. The code reviser, I attempted to inspect the public records index with them as well, their own agency public records index. They said I cannot come in and inspect it in person, which is not true.
Yeah.
And then when I attempted to submit the public records request in person verbally, which Bob Ferguson has written on the Attorney General's website under obtaining records, has said you can do it verbally and in person. So this is awkward. They just refused to take the public records request, and that's per the security guard for the Capitol grounds who came out and was messaging or ferrying messages back and forth. He said to me on recording, Kathy will not accept a public records request.
Okay. I talked to an employee and they said they did not accept them. Got your name.
That is awesome. Hey, thank you very much, man.
There you go.
Kathy Buckley. I also have an unknown employee. That's the end of that one.
Okay.
I also have an unknown employee on recording from Suite 122 inside of the legislative wing of the Capitol Rotunda.
122, you said?
Yeah, an unknown but recorded employee. She admitted she's a public employee.
Okay.
I attempted to submit a public records request to her for the House of Representatives, and she refused to accept the public records request as well. I need to submit a public records request to you for this office. Are you going to refuse to take the public records request, or are you going to accept it?
I'm gonna call security.
Fortunately, Bob, and I know he loves me, will be able to see my story published online.
Sure.
I know he's the biggest fan ever of my stories. He'll be able to see the employee, and I'm sure from there, figure out who it is. I'll do additional public records requests, but that's what happened there.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, and then I'm going to confirm just with our public records unit.
Sure.
If this is an okay way to do this, this should be fine, I'm assuming, but I'm going to just type all this up.
Sure.
And send it to
If you want, you can just reach out by email after you're done with this, because I got to go
Okay.
work on some other story stuff right now.
Yeah.
But my email address is anonymous citizen WA at protonmail.com. And if you want to take a copy of that, or if you just want to write the whack down, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll take a copy of it.
Okay, sure.
And then do you want it date stamped or anything?
No, I got it recorded. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, perfect. There you are. I'll get this over to our public records office, and we should be expecting some replies from them.
Thanks. And let Bob know if he wants to give me an interview, he can email me there.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is it here at the Attorney General's office. I've filed 530 reviews. Those reviews are the Attorney General looking at the agency's lack of compliance with the public records request. The one that I think is potentially the ugliest, of course, is the Employment Security Department, because they've been out of compliance, as far as I can tell, since 1972. There's been two versions of the Public Records Act. There's the original one from 1972, which was codified in the Revised Codes of Washington, Title 42, Chapter 17, Section 260 for the Records Index. And in 2005, that was revised into Title 42, Chapter 56, Section 70, Subsection 5 for state agencies. And that's what we got. So that's it here reporting today on the Employment Security Department over there on that side, the Code Revisor over there, and the Attorney General right here. So please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that all notifications bell so you get my stories right when they're released. You can follow me on X at I.A.M Free Auditing, on Facebook at Inlet Auditing Media. And if you want to help keep my feet on the streets, you can do so by going to the links in the description for Cash App and Venmo. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next location. Bye for now.